Hey guys, Sahil here. I'm back with the review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. This phone was released in August last year, therefore this is going to be my 5-month later review. They also released the smaller Note 10, but today we're going to be focusing on the bigger brother. With the S20 right around the corner, the Note 10 yet remains Samsung's flagship phone until the Note 11 or the so-called Note 20 will be launched later this year. By the way, stay tuned for a video on the S20 as well. Looking through the specs of this phone packs some serious internals to match that high price of $1,000. So let's speed through the specifications. This phone has an amazing 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 3040 pixels. Comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 with Adreno 640 GPU. Also comes in the Exynos variant internationally. 256GB or 512GB of storage, both with 12GB of RAM, a non-removable 4300 mAh battery supporting 45V blazing fast charging speeds. It's IP68 dust/water resistant for up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Micro SD card support for up to 1 TB. Under display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos sound tuned by AKG, S Pen stylus with Bluetooth integration with other AR gestures. Whew. If those specifications have sunk in, let's have a look at the design. First thing to notice is the Quad HD Plus 6.8-inch display panel with a 91% screen to body ratio. It's literally all screen, like it even spills over the sides, making the screen feel like it's floating. It's simply amazing. They moved the selfie camera in a hole punch cutout at the top center of the display, which personally I prefer over something like the Samsung Galaxy S10, which is on the side, as in the middle there's no usually any important content, so it doesn't cause much of a distraction anyway. And they also somehow managed to reduce the size of the selfie camera. The phone is a glass sandwich design with Gorilla Glass 6 on both the front and the back, and an aluminum frame on the side housing the power and volume buttons, both on the left side. The power button is now finally remappable only to power. So if you are not a fan, you can hide Bixby completely and forget about it. And to be honest, that was the first thing I did when I got the phone. Moving on, this phone is also available in Aura White, Aura Blue, Aura Glow, and the one I've got here is the Aura Black, which also happens to be my personal favorite. There is a small camera bump on the back, but nothing major. Speaking about the cameras themselves, they contain 4 sensors. A 12 megapixel wide-angle sensor, a 12 megapixel telephoto sensor, a 16 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, and a time-of-flight VGA camera. The main sensor is a variable aperture lens that changes depending on the light around the subject, but can be toggled manually in the Pro mode. The overall photos the camera captures are great with great colors and dynamic range. There also seems to be a good amount of consistency with the photos taken with the different sensors, as they don't look very different in terms of exposure, sharpness, colors, and also the complete general shot. As in lower end phones, the photos taken by the main sensor and the ultrawide sensor look really different in terms of color and noise. The selfie camera is a 10 megapixel camera and it's also pretty good. The phone can also capture 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second, which of course should be a standard at this high $1,000 price point. Overall, this phone has a solid camera setup and I don't think it should really disappoint any Note users. Moving on, Samsung's Note has always been different from the other phones in the market due to one single feature, and you've already guessed what I mean. It's the S Pen. It sits right inside the phone and automatically charges while inside. On removing it out by clicking its top, just like a normal ballpoint pen, it's ready to use. To be honest, I don't actually use it and it can go days staying just inside the phone. But when I remove it out to use it, I feel like it provides amazing convenience. Just circling items on photos or for a once in a while photo editing session. It's amazing to have it, and even though I don't use it much, I feel like I'll miss it if it wasn't there. In the Note 10, Samsung added new features like AR gestures that allow you to control the phone with the S Pen. For example, the camera application. You can move between modes and also switch cameras just using the AR gestures with the S Pen. I feel like this is a feature that most people wouldn't use, but it's there like many other features in Samsung phones. The phone does not have a headphone jack, but that's not really surprising to me nowadays, as I've already been using Samsung's Galaxy Buds, which have served really great in all use. By the way, let me know in the comments below if you want to see a full review for the Galaxy Buds as well. So, how is the battery performance of a phone that has a huge display, amazing power, dual speakers, 4 cameras for up to 4K video recording, and also wireless power share? Yes, you can charge other accessories or even phones just by placing them on the back of the Note 10. With all that, the 4300 mAh battery yet manages to get a full day out of the phone. However, this is very subjective as everyone uses their phones very differently. But for me personally, I managed to get an average of 5 hours of screen on time per day with my mid to heavy usage, which is pretty remarkable with a phone with so much packed into it. Alright, so concluding with the Note 10, it's a flagship for power users who are willing to pay the price. The only missing feature I notice is a 120Hz or at least a 90Hz display panel, which companies like OnePlus are really pushing towards. The Note 10 comes with a standard 60Hz panel, which, don't get me wrong, it's an amazing panel. But yeah, whenever I use it, I really feel like I really wish it had a 90Hz panel or even a 120Hz panel. Anyway, let's hope to see that in the S20 coming out in literally a week's time. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a like, leave your feedback in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my latest uploads. I'll say that again. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my latest uploads. 2020 is going to be an amazing year for technology and smartphones. With that said, catch you guys in the next video. See ya!